How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. If you want scary videos, then you're in the right spot. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content. Just like this. Here's a scary clip that unsettled millions. The footage was reportedly captured inside El Palacio de Hierro near the Zocalo in Mexico City at around 2 a.m, long after the store had closed for the night.
En expiación por nuestros pecados y por los del mundo entero. Por su dolorosa pasión, ten misericordia de nosotros y del mundo entero. Por su dolorosa pasión, ten misericordia de nosotros.
According to the viral video re-uploaded to TikTok by user IlUniversalMX, multiple Amazon Echo display units, Alexa devices set up across the sales floor, suddenly activated at the same time and began praying.
De tu amadísimo Hijo nuestro Señor Jesucristo, en expiación por nuestros pecados y por los del mundo entero.
What's heard in the footage is a clear recitation of the Chaplet of the Divine Mercy, a specific Roman Catholic prayer. One voice leads: Padre Eterno, te ofrezco el cuerpo y la sangre, el alma y la divinidad de tu amadísimo Hijo, nuestro Señor Jesucristo, en expiación de nuestros pecados y los del mundo entero. Translated as, Eternal Father, I offer you the body and blood, soul and divinity of your dearly beloved Son, our Lord, Jesus Christ, in atonement for our sins and those of the whole world. A second voice responds repeatedly, Por su dolorosa pasión, ten misericordia de nosotros y del mundo entero. For the sake of his sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and on the whole world. What disturbed viewers most wasn't just the prayer, it was the synchronization. Multiple devices appeared to be reciting the same religious text together inside a dark, empty department store in the middle of the night. As the clip spread, many pointed out an important detail that added a far more unsettling layer to the story. The Zocalo itself sits atop the ruins of Tenochtitlan, the former Aztec capital. The ground beneath the modern city holds layers of conquest, colonial destruction, executions, disease, and mass death. In Mexican folklore, the area is often described as cargado, spiritually heavy. Because of this, there's a long-standing belief that the Zocalo is a place where unusual things happen after dark. Locals frequently claim that electronics malfunction there. Others speak of spontaneous religious phenomena, prayers, chanting, visions, occurring without explanation. In the comments beneath this video, many viewers insisted that entidades or entities wander the area at night, even when buildings are modern and well lit. Skeptics argue the explanation is purely technical, and no one is quite sure whether the video shows just one Alexa or multiple devices reciting the prayer.
Te ofrezco el cuerpo y la sangre, el alma y la divinidad de tu amadísimo Hijo nuestro Señor Jesucristo.
Believers counter that the timing, location, and choice of prayer feel far too specific to dismiss so easily.
Ten misericordia de nosotros y del mundo entero. Por su dolorosa pasión, ten misericordia de nosotros.
So what really happened inside that store at 2 a.m? A remote command misfiring, or something ancient beneath the city briefly finding a voice through modern machines? Whatever the explanation, it's hard to deny that the video does give off some very creepy vibes.
Hijo nuestro Señor Jesucristo, en expiación por nuestros pecados y por los del mundo entero.
In a disturbing trend, more and more creators are reporting encounters with what they believe is a mimic, an entity imitating their own voices or those of their family members. In paranormal folklore, a mimic is believed to be an entity that imitates familiar human voices in order to confuse, lure, or unsettle those who hear it. Unlike echoes or auditory illusions, mimics are said to reproduce voices with uncanny accuracy, often copying loved ones, children, or even the listener themselves. What makes them especially disturbing is context. The voice is heard where no person should be present, sometimes responding at the wrong moment, using unusual accents, or speaking with clarity that doesn't match the environment. In many reports, animals react before humans do, and the voice is often described as emotionally detached or slightly off, as if something is pretending rather than speaking naturally. In this first scary video, TikToker Julia Wang_HTX believes she captured a mimic imitating her child during a sleigh ride in the mountains at Deer Valley. According to her account, only her family and 2 adult drivers were present. Yet within the first seconds of the footage, a clear voice can be heard.
Hello, Daddy.
A little warmer over there.
It's beautiful.
The poster believes the voice says, "Hello, Daddy."
Hello, Daddy. Hello, Daddy.
A little warmer over there.
Viewers immediately notice that her daughter's mouth does not move when the voice is heard, and while her son's mouth is partially covered, his later speech sounds muffled and completely different in tone.
Hello, Daddy.
A little warmer over there.
It's beautiful. Oh, it's warm. It's getting exercise. Snow is in my eye.
The poster goes on to say that the voice heard at the start of the clip carries what she describes as a strange British or Victorian sounding accent, something neither child has.
And additionally, this voice seems to have like a weird British Victorian accent. I don't even know what kind of accent it is, and my son does not speak like that.
Despite repeated viewings, she says she's been unable to find any rational explanation for the sound.
And I consider myself pretty spiritually awake. I'm an intuitive, but this is the first time that I actually have physical evidence. And I've watched this video many times, and I still have yet to come up with a rational or logical explanation as to what this voice is.
In the second video, uploaded by IDCSSNKJS, the tone becomes even more unsettling. The poster appears increasingly frightened after believing she hears her own voice behind her while filming.
What the was that?
As she reacts, viewers in the comments claim the voice is saying, "Look behind you," or perhaps, "Come find me." For many viewers, the idea of a voice not only imitating someone familiar but actively trying to direct their attention fits disturbingly well with classic mimic encounters. Many urge the poster not to respond at all, warning that reacting to the voice could encourage it and make the situation worse.
My speaker's right here. My speaker's right here. What was that? Am I schizophrenic? Dude, someone just talked behind me. I just heard myself echo back.
Whether these moments are the result of coincidence, audio artifacts, or really are a mimic, the similarities between the clips have made many viewers uneasy, especially those who believe mimics don't just copy voices, they use them.
What the was that?
In a series of disturbingly scary videos, we see a series of what have been labelled as witch attacks captured on camera across Mexico. The first video was uploaded to TikTok by Yee.Rodriguez45 and shows CCTV footage recorded outside a house somewhere in Rosarito.
And for months she was repeatedly seen walking around the neighborhood, painting crosses outside houses and even a nearby church, while also writing cryptic religious messages.
According to the description, a mysterious woman had been appearing in the neighborhood for months, always late at night.
And for months she was repeatedly seen walking around the neighborhood, and every time they tried to capture the woman on camera, the footage would mysteriously fail.
Neighbors reportedly began noticing her walking the streets in silence, stopping outside homes to paint crosses on walls and gates. She was also seen marking a nearby church and writing cryptic religious messages in the area.
And for months she was repeatedly seen walking around the neighborhood, painting crosses outside houses and even a nearby church, while also writing cryptic religious messages.
The person who shared the footage later claimed that unexplained activity began happening inside their house shortly after the woman's visits. Even more unsettling, every attempt to capture her on camera allegedly failed. CCTV systems glitched, recordings corrupted, footage disappeared. This reportedly happened multiple times. It wasn't until after 3 separate attempts, each involving unexplained camera malfunctions, that the system finally recorded her.
And every time they tried to capture the woman on camera, the footage would mysteriously fail. And it wasn't until after 3 attempts and repeated camera malfunctions that they were finally able to record her passing by.
In the footage, the woman can be seen passing by, and at certain moments she appears partially transparent. Her figure seems to fade in and out against the background. Eerily, it seems that this is far from an isolated incident. In a second scary clip uploaded to TikTok by Milton DJR, we see another snippet of surveillance camera footage. Take a look at what it shows. This time, the security footage shows 2 women approaching a property, with one of them deliberately scattering a white powder across the terrace of Luis Martinez, a shopkeeper from Valledupar. The footage shows 2 women arriving at the property while the street is still quiet. One of them appears to keep watch, scanning the surroundings, while the other steps forward and begins spreading a white powder across the terrace. According to Martinez, the substance is what he refers to as witching dust. Viewers familiar with regional folklore believed the act resembled a form of brujeria, folk witchcraft still widely believed in across parts of Latin America. In these traditions, powders are sometimes used for curses, protection spells, or rituals meant to bring misfortune to a person or business. What unsettled many viewers most was the timing. Acts meant to invoke or place curses are often believed to be more powerful at dawn, when night transitions into day. And finally, we take a look at yet another similar incident. This clip was uploaded to TikTok by Aniello0630 and shows a young woman standing with her back turned when an elderly woman approaches her from behind. Watch what happens next. In her hands, the older woman appears to be shaking or preparing something small, though it's difficult to make out exactly what it is. Seconds later, the elderly woman suddenly pricks the young woman on the shoulder. The movement is quick and deliberate, not accidental. The young woman immediately turns around in surprise, clearly startled by what just happened. However, instead of reacting aggressively or fleeing, the older woman's demeanor changes. She appears to act sympathetically, gesturing or behaving as if she's concerned or apologetic, attempting to calm the young woman down. So what's going on in this clip is the old woman performing some sort of spell or curse. And what is with this sudden spate of purported witch sightings appearing online? Let me know your take in the comments section below.
Outside a house somewhere in Rosarito, Mexico, and for months she was repeatedly seen walking around the neighborhood, painting crosses outside houses and even a nearby church, while also writing cryptic religious messages.
Here's a short clip that sparked a surprisingly intense debate about what it actually shows. Take a look for yourself. The bizarre video was uploaded to TikTok by Kim Lawton1, who says the footage was captured on her dad's home security camera at around 2 AM. In the caption, she makes one thing very clear. The clip has not been sped up or altered. What viewers are seeing is exactly how it was recorded. It's brief, just a flicker of movement, but enough to grab attention. The shape moves quickly and smoothly, almost gliding into view before disappearing from sight. Almost immediately, the comments section split in two. Some viewers were convinced it was nothing more than a spider or insect close to the lens. Others weren't so sure. Several commenters, including the person who posted the video, said the shape looked too human, pointing out what they believed to be a head and body-like form. A few went even further. Some suggested it could be a fairy, others described it as a spirit or small entity, noting how quickly and deliberately it seemed to move. The fact that it appeared at 2 a.m., a time often associated with unexplained activity, only added to the unease for believers. So what was really captured here? Whatever the explanation, the clip has left viewers replaying it again and again, trying to decide whether they're looking at something ordinary or perhaps something supernatural.
Alright, I'm working in a old urgent care that just got shut down.
Here's a scary video that's been unsettling viewers. The video was re-uploaded to TikTok by Demontix after the original source seems to have been deleted.
It looks very culty. There's a stage up here, looks like a couple of altars next to him.
According to the man filming, he was working on repairs inside an abandoned urgent care facility in Texas that had recently shut down. He explains that the building closed before a major freeze hit the area, though he isn't sure exactly why it was abandoned. From the start, he admits the place feels pretty spooky.
It got shut down before the freeze here in Texas. I'm not sure why it closed down, but it's pretty spooky.
As he walks through the building, the camera captures long, empty corridors and unused rooms. As he passes a bathroom, have a listen to what has been caught on camera.
Another bathroom.
A creepy, disembodied voice seems to be heard saying, "I see you."
Another bathroom.
At one point, he reaches a stairwell and mentions that a meditation class used to be held upstairs. He shows a small cubby area where people would have placed their shoes before entering. Then this happens. He says he's certain no one else is inside, yet it clearly sounded like someone was on the stairs.
After some further investigation, there's no one else in this building. I heard someone go down those stairs, though.
Cautiously, he continues upstairs, entering what he believes was once the meditation room.
So, I guess this was the meditation room.
There's a raised platform that resembles a stage, flanked by what he describes as altar-like structures on either side.
It looks very culty. There's a stage up here, looks like a couple of altars next to him. Creepy.
Then out of nowhere, he hears a mysterious banging sound.
Creepy.
It's at this point that he abruptly announces that he's getting out of the building. The video ends shortly after, with no further investigation and no explanation for the sounds he heard.
Creepy. Okay, now I'm getting the fuck out of here. That was it.
Commenters quickly weighed in. Many agreed that they too heard a ghostly voice say, "I see you," loud and clear. Some suggested old buildings can produce echoes and noises that sound like footsteps. So what do you think has been caught on camera here? Does this video show evidence of a haunting? Or can the creepy sounds really be explained away as the creaks and groans of an old building? Let me know your take down below.
There's a stage up here, looks like a couple of altars next to him. Creepy. Okay, now I'm getting the fuck out of here. That was it.
Finally get the ghost on camera.
Here's a creepy clip that's left viewers genuinely baffled. The original video appears to have been deleted, but it was later re-uploaded to TikTok by PG Stories Official, where it quickly began circulating again.
you. I didn't know you were here.
The footage shows a man carrying a young girl back toward the camera.
Look at your pretty new shoes.
Everything seems normal at first, then something strange happens.
Hi, I like you. I didn't know you were here. Here.
The bag that the man is carrying suddenly jerks sharply to the side, as if it's been grabbed.
Here.
Yet there's no person nearby, no obstacle it could have caught on. The movement is abrupt and forceful enough that many viewers immediately noticed it on the first watch.
I didn't know you were here. Here.
The man doesn't panic, instead he keeps moving, maintaining a calm composure. According to the uploader, this was deliberate, explaining that they didn't want to scare the baby.
Gotta play it so the baby doesn't get scared.
In the comments, opinions quickly formed, and many viewers agreed on one thing: the bag doesn't move naturally. Some suggested a trick of perspective or momentum, but others pointed out that the motion appears directional, as though something briefly tugged it away from him. The uploader claims that the bag was actually grabbed by a ghost. Whether this was an optical illusion, an unseen physical cause, or something far harder to explain, the footage has left viewers replaying the moment again and again, watching the bag, watching the man's reaction, and trying to make sense of what they see.
You guys have pretty shoes. Hi, I like you. I didn't know you were here. Here.
Here's a deeply unsettling case we covered back in early 2025 that's resurfaced online, and with new footage now circulating, it's raised even more disturbing questions. To bring new viewers up to speed, the original post was shared to Reddit by user Michalian, who explained that the image had first been sent to her by a friend on Facebook. According to the post, the situation unfolded late at night in a quiet residential area when a home security camera captured something shocking. What appeared on the footage looked like a baby. Concerned by what they saw, the homeowner did what most people would hope anyone would do in that situation. They contacted authorities. Search and rescue teams were dispatched to the area to investigate, believing there might be a real infant in danger. However, after reviewing the footage, officials reportedly concluded that the appearance was simply a camera glitch. But not everyone was convinced. The original images show what looks unmistakably like a small baby visible on the camera feed. Timestamp screenshots included in the post make the situation even stranger. In one frame, the baby appears clearly. Just 1 minute later, the figure is completely gone. No movement, no transition, no explanation. As if it simply vanished. And that's where the story takes a darker turn. Recently, a video resurfaced on TikTok by user Ashistoyu, revisiting the case and presenting additional material that adds an unsettling new layer. The TikToker reveals that the poster's daughter, Ensley, took a photograph that appears to show a ghostly figure that closely resembles the same baby seen on the security camera.
It's even weirder. Her daughter took this picture and it looks just like the baby. Whoa.
The resemblance is strong enough that many believe it can't be coincidence. The original poster goes on to say that even scarier is that the baby looks exactly like her daughter Ensley when she was just 2 years old. Many viewers agreed that the security camera appeared to capture a baby, with some suggesting it could be the spirit of an infant. Others went further, proposing that a medium might be needed to determine whether it was a lost soul trying to cross over, or something far more sinister masquerading as one. What's made the case linger is the human response to it. Emergency services were called, investigations were carried out, official explanations were given, and yet even with all that, the footage refuses to sit comfortably as just a glitch. Here's a clip that's left viewers deeply unsettled, not because of what's seen, but because of what's heard. Have a listen. The creepy video was uploaded to TikTok by Soyel Julio Lopez. The description explains that the original poster was working inside a hospital late at night, decorating for an event scheduled to take place early the next morning. To give her space to work comfortably, staff placed her in a section of the hospital where no one else was present. According to her account, the area was completely empty. She says that when she arrived, she walked through the same corridors she later filmed, and there was nothing there. No patients, no staff, no activity. Then she heard the sound. Clearly sounds like a baby crying or possibly laughing. The noise is distinct enough to be recognizable immediately. It sounds close. As viewers replayed the footage, some noticed an additional detail that made the clip even creepier. Near the beginning of the video, in one of the corridor windows, a dark shape appears momentarily. It's subtle and easy to miss, but difficult to ignore once spotted. So, has this clip caught a ghost on camera? Given the timing, the location, and the absence of anyone else nearby, it seems the uploader agrees. Take another look at the footage and decide for yourself. Is this hospital genuinely haunted? Or is there a logical explanation for the eerie sounds and the dark shape that appears in the window? This eerie video was posted to TikTok by Leyendas de Monterrey and consists of surveillance camera footage recorded inside Parque Fundidora, a large urban park built on the grounds of a former steel foundry in the city of Monterrey, Mexico. At first, the footage appears completely ordinary. Then, without warning, something enters the frame. A ghostly figure briefly appears, moving across the screen toward the right before vanishing from view. The shape lacks clear detail, yet is distinctly human in outline. The moment is easy to miss if you're not watching closely, but once you see it, it's hard to ignore. The uploader suggests the figure could be a ghost or some other type of paranormal entity, pointing out how briefly it manifests and how unnaturally it seems to move through the scene. Given that the footage comes from a fixed surveillance camera rather than a handheld phone, many viewers felt it was harder to dismiss as a simple filming trick. Today, Parque Fundidora is known as a modern urban park, a place for jogging trails, concerts, museums, and open green spaces. But beneath its clean pathways lies a much heavier past. The park was built on the grounds of the former Fundidora de Fierro y Acero de Monterrey, one of the most important steel foundries in Latin America. The massive industrial complex operated from 1900 until its closure in 1986, and for decades it was a place of relentless labour, extreme conditions, and danger. During its operation, the steel plant was the site of numerous industrial accidents. Workers were exposed daily to extreme heat, toxic fumes, unstable machinery, and dangerous working conditions. Fatal accidents involving machinery, explosions, burns, and structural collapses were not uncommon, though official death tolls were rarely publicised. Former workers and their families have long shared stories of people who entered the factory and never came home. In Mexican folklore, places marked by intense labour, suffering, and sudden death are often believed to retain residual energy, a spiritual imprint left behind by those who died under traumatic circumstances. Over the years, reports of strange encounters inside the park have circulated widely, especially among night guards, maintenance staff, and people passing through after dark. Common stories include shadowy figures appearing near old furnaces and preserved machinery, the sound of footsteps or metal dragging when no one else is present, and an overwhelming sensation of being watched near abandoned structures. Some witnesses even claim to see figures resembling workers in old-style uniforms, most often late at night or in the early morning hours when the park is quiet. For many locals, Parque Fundidora isn't just a park built on industrial ruins. It's a place where the past never fully left. So, has this surveillance system captured a ghost from the park's past? Or is there another way to explain this creepy footage? Watch the clip one more time and decide for yourself.
Ava!
Here's another scary video that's left viewers on edge, featuring a chilling, disembodied voice that shares all the same eerie traits seen in the previous suspected mimic encounters. Have a listen.
Ava! Boo!
The clip was uploaded to TikTok by Joy Marix, who insists that at the time of recording there was no one else in the house and no TVs or devices playing audio. According to her, the environment was completely quiet until something strange cut through the silence.
Ava! Boo!
In the clip, the poster can be heard calling out her daughter's name, Eva. Almost immediately after, a mysterious voice appears to repeat the name.
Ava! Boo!
The voice doesn't sound like it's coming from the same direction as the original call, and it doesn't seem to match the poster's voice.
Ava! Boo!
Some viewers believe the sound is simply the daughter laughing, perhaps distorted by acoustics.
Ava! Boo!
However, in a follow-up video, the poster addressed this.
One thing that makes me not think that it was her laugh was because, so when you hear the noise that sounds like, you definitely hear the va very clearly. Her mouth is wide open and you cannot make that noise unless your lips are together. Also, she doesn't say the V like a syllable. She doesn't say it. She says Ella. Like, for her own name, that's what she calls herself. She doesn't even call herself Ava. So I just feel like it was really unlikely it was her.
A number of commenters also pointed out that the timing feels off and that the tone doesn't quite match a laugh. One comment in particular stood out saying, "You have a mimic. As long as it isn't answered, you'll be fine." Many viewers seem to agree.
Ava! Boo!
Whether this was an innocent sound misinterpreted in a quiet house, or something paranormal imitating the mother's voice far too convincingly, the clip has left viewers replaying it again and again, listening closely for details they might have missed.
Ava! Boo!
If you want to see more scary videos just like these, then smash that subscribe button and turn on all channel notifications. That way you won't miss a single upload. Here's a chilling image that has left Reddit users deeply unsettled. photo was uploaded to Reddit by user mysterious_diver5948, who says it was captured during a visit to the old Wyoming State Penitentiary. According to the poster, they were exploring the historic prison and taking photos when they snapped an image of one of the cells. At the time, they insist the area was empty, but when they later looked at the photo, something was there. The image appears to show a dark, hooded figure standing directly in front of the cell. The shape is tall and human-like, draped in what looks like a long black robe. Almost immediately, commenters began drawing comparisons to one figure in particular, the Grim Reaper. Even the original poster agreed, commenting that the resemblance was difficult to ignore. The old Wyoming State Penitentiary operated from 1901 to 1981 and housed some of the state's most dangerous inmates. Over the decades, prisoners were executed there, others died from illness, violence, or harsh conditions, and the building developed a reputation long before it became a tourist site. Visitors and staff have reported unexplained footsteps, voices, shadow figures, and sudden drops in temperature throughout the cell blocks. Skeptics in the comments suggested the figure could be a trick of lighting, a shadow, or a case of pareidolia, the brain interpreting random shapes as something familiar. But others argued that the shape is too defined and too human-like to dismiss so easily. So what did the camera capture inside that cell block? A shadow playing tricks on the eye? Or something tied to the prison's past, briefly revealing itself?
Well, that's the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more scary videos, then check out those links right there. Remember to check out our awesome merch if you haven't already. There's links in the description box down below. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time.